we turn to Justin Trudeau, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the co-chair of the Ontario campaign, Navdeep Bains.
Thank you very much for that, John. I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to the beautiful riding of Mississauga Malton.
And thank you, John, for your tireless work from within the House of Commons to stand up for multiculturalism, for stand up for on immigration and citizenship issues, things that, as you all deeply suspect, are very, very important to me. And issues of immigration and diversity are things that have always defined my perspective, and I think you can understand the history why. The impact of community media is growing across this country, and in a time where people are constantly asking questions about the relevance of media, of journalism, as we watch the big newspapers and TV channels struggling, community media like yours continues to grow more and more relevant. And it's not as some people suspect because it's all stories about the old country and it's tying people to back home, although in some cases it does a great job of that. It's about informing people about what's happening as Canadians in a way with a perspective that has people understand just how important it is to stay fully connected to this extraordinary country of which we are all such a proud part. Canada is really an extraordinary, special place. And I don't have to belabor that point because I know everyone here gets it. But we are truly this one place in the world that has figured out how to be strong, not in spite of our differences, but because of those differences. All the different languages, perspectives, religions, cultures that come together sometimes causes us to feel challenged in defining what is the Canadian identity. What is it to be a Canadian? What is a typical Canadian? You get moments where people say, oh, there's no such thing as a typical Canadian. There is no Canadian identity. Well, I'll tell you something. Right now, I'm looking at the Canadian identity. Our identity is in our diversity. And how we define ourselves, since we can't, like so many other countries, define ourselves as belonging to one ethnicity or one history or one culture or one religion, and the countries that can do that successfully these days are dwindling in an increasingly globalized world where minorities and minority rights are increasingly important. But how do we define ourselves in a positive definition of what it is to be a Canadian is very simple. It's around our values. Those shared values that all of us as Canadians live by, that all of us and all of our cultures and perspectives know that we aspire to. Values of openness, respect, compassion, a willingness to work hard, a desire to be there for each other, a search for justice, for equality, for opportunity for the next generations. These are things that many countries around the world aspire to, but only Canada defines ourselves through those. And our capacity to continue to showcase the solution of a society that understands. This is the challenge we have, my friends, in this important election year. To tell people that it's enough of being cynical about politics. Enough voting against the left from the right, or against the right from the left, or voting for the least worst of the options out there. We need to be starting to vote for again. We need to pick a team with a vision, a team with a plan, a team that respects the extraordinary diversity of this country and embodies it as well. A team that understands that as tempting as it can be for short-term electoral purposes to divide Canadians, the only way we solve the challenges facing Canadians is by working together. And in that, I'm counting on all of you, as journalists, to be partners in this, to hold all politicians to account, to challenge us when we pick the path of division instead of the path of pulling people together, to demand straight answers and real projects and real plans, to demand openness, honesty, accountability, and transparency. This is your job.
Thank you, Justin. I'll go back by saying that my name is Ahmed Hussain, and I'm proud to be a member of Team Trudeau for the great riding of York Southwestern. Justin, brothers and sisters, fellow friends, I ran for the Liberal Party of Canada because of a deep belief in fairness, equality, and not just equality of outcomes, but an equality of opportunity. I also believe that the Liberal Party is best placed to restore our deeply held tradition of respecting the courts and respecting our Charter of Rights and Freedoms.
Trudeau!